How to avoid an eviction. Um, get an application and a rental agreement completely filled out and signed. When you get the application and the rental agreement, you need the rental agreement if you take the person to court to be able to get a judgment against the person. And the person, if you have the application, you have their license number and social security number, they know that you can ruin their credit. If you just get a rental agreement, then they won't have the same fear as if you get a filled-in application. Once you get the application rental agreement, then more tenants will pay the last month. They'll clean the unit before they leave. They'll treat you better because they want to preserve their credit. Start to charge a late fee if the tenant is late. This will make them feel an urgency that they need to pay the rent on time. Otherwise, they start paying rent late. If your manager tells you that you need to evict a tenant, you need to go talk with the tenant first before you do an eviction. And the reason for that is sometimes the relationship between the manager and the tenant breaks down, and there's some communication problem. They're not talking with one another, and the tenant was promised some repairs when the unit was initially vacant. And if you just go talk with the tenant, you might see some repairs that need to be done, and that they're complaining about the repairs, and if you do the repairs, they'll pay the rent, and you've got a tenant that's paying rent again. And also, don't let the tenant owe you more than 2 months before you evict. Sometimes you've had a tenant there that's been there a year, they get behind a month, they lost their job, they had a car breakdown or something, and they had some unsuspected bill, and you let them slide and they get caught up, no problem. I've had that. More tenants in a good area will get caught back up. More good tenants will get caught back up than will continue to get behind. But if they go 2 months without paying the rent, then you want to evict. And consider paying a bad tenant to move. If you have a bad tenant and they moved in and they have friends that are coming on the property selling drugs or something, and other tenants are moving, then you want to consider paying that tenant to move, because it will get your business back to normal. And so what I do is I tell them that I'll give them $500 as a down payment on another place if they'll move. And so what they'll do is they'll say, well, how do I know that you'll pay me the money? What if I go find another place and you don't give me the money? And I'll say, well, this is the way it works. You go reserve the other place, and you have the manager call me, and what we'll do is you'll come to the property and you'll take your furniture out and give me the key, and I'll give you the money, the cash, and you'll just simply go take the money over to the other place and the furniture, and that'll be it. It's just that simple. And so many times the tenants, they say they won't do that, but then they have a change of mind. If they're out of cash, they have a change of mind, and they'll go talk with some other owner down the street, and they'll make the arrangement to move in, and they'll tell them that I'm returning their security or something. They won't tell them that I'm paying them to move, but they'll make an agreement, and then I'll come and meet them, and they'll move their furniture out, give me the key, and I'll give them the cash, and they'll put it in the truck and go to the other place, and it's just that simple. And so this is the best way to avoid an eviction, is be sure that the tenant is happy, and be sure you have a rental agreement and an application filled out, and you just do your part, and that makes the whole process work a lot better.